Have you ever heard of a brave little girl who walked out into a storm and was never seen again? This is the mystery of Asha Degree. She was only 9 years old. What made her leave her warm bed in the middle of the night? Why was she walking alone in the rain? And who, if anyone, was waiting for her out there? Let's go back in time to the night of Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2000. Once upon a time in a small town called Shelby, North Carolina, there lived a cheerful, bright, and sweet girl named Asha Degree. She had a big smile, loved school, and played basketball like a champion. Everyone said she was quiet, smart, and full of dreams. Asha lived with her mom, dad, and older brother. They were a close family. They loved each other a lot and always tried to keep their children safe. But sometimes strange things happen even in the safest homes. It was the night before Valentine's Day. Most kids were excited about giving out candy and cards at school. Asha had just played a basketball game earlier that weekend. She was a little upset that her team lost, but she still seemed okay. That night, her mom tucked her into bed around 8 p.m. Her brother was in the same room, just a few feet away. Everything seemed normal, but what no one knew was that Asha was planning something. At around 2:30 a.m., something strange happened. Asha quietly got out of bed. She didn't wake her parents. She didn't even wake her brother. She took her book bag, packed it with a few clothes, a notebook, some candy, and left. Yes, in the middle of the night, during a heavy rainstorm. She opened the front door and stepped into the darkness. She was just 9 years old. Why did she leave? Was someone calling her? Was she running towards something or away from something? It was around 4 o'clock in the morning when truck drivers saw something unusual on Highway 18. A little girl was walking all alone in the pouring rain. She was wearing a white dress. She looked scared but determined. One man turned his truck around to check on her. But when he did, Asha ran into the woods. She disappeared into the trees. No one ever saw her again. Not alive, anyway. It was around 4 o'clock in the morning when truck drivers saw something unusual on Highway 18. A little girl was walking all alone in the pouring rain. She was wearing a white dress. She looked scared but determined. One man turned his truck around to check on her. But when he did, Asha ran into the woods. She disappeared into the trees. No one ever saw her again. Not alive, anyway. When Asha's mom went to wake her up for school around 6:30 a.m., she made a chilling discovery. Asha wasn't in her bed. She wasn't anywhere in the house. Her parents searched everywhere, under beds and closets, outside the home. When they couldn't find her, they called the police. Just like that, a normal Valentine's Day turned into a nightmare. Police and neighbors quickly gathered to search for Asha. They used dogs, helicopters, and hundreds of volunteers to look in the woods, around lakes, and on roads. But nothing came up. No footprints. No clothing. No cries for help. A little girl had vanished into thin air. The only thing they found that first day, a pencil, a hairbow, and a candy wrapper, believed it belonged to Asha. 18 months later, in a different town, 26 miles away from where Asha was last seen, a construction worker found something strange while digging by the side of the road. It was a plastic bag. Inside the bag was Asha's backpack, still zipped, still packed, still mysterious. No fingerprints, no clues, just more questions. Why was it buried? Who put it there? And why that spot? Police were confused. Everyone was confused. There was no sign of a struggle. No sign she had been kidnapped from her house. No broken windows. No footprints leading away. She had walked out on her own. But she was only 9. She didn't drive. She didn't know how to get around. So how did her backpack end up 26 miles away? Someone had to be involved. But who? Theories to explore. Now, let's put on our detective hats. Asha's story is full of mystery. People have been asking questions for over 20 years. Try to understand what made this sweet 9-year-old girl leave home in the middle of a storm. Let's look at the 3 biggest theories people believe might explain what happened that night. Theory 1. Did Asha run away? She packed her book bag with care. Clothes, candy, notebooks. She left quietly, without waking anyone up. No one forced their way into the house. But her family was loving. She was doing well in school. And she was afraid of dogs, the dark, and storms. Would she really go out alone? Theory 2. Did someone she knew lure her out? What if someone tricked her? Someone pretending to be a friend? Maybe they wrote her a letter or told her to meet them for a surprise. Asha didn't use a computer, but someone could have spoken to her at school or practice. Theory 3. Was she abducted? This theory got stronger when the FBI revealed a new clue years later. A green car was seen on the road that night. Could someone have kidnapped her? Hidden her away? The buried backpack adds weight to this theory. The backpack that spoke volumes. Buried in a plastic bag. Found 26 miles away. Still filled with her things. Someone hid it on purpose. That backpack might be the biggest clue of all. Because if Asha was just lost, would her backpack be buried? It means someone else was involved. Years pass by, but hope remains. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into years. And still, Asha never came home. Her parents kept her room just the way it was. Her basketball trophies stayed on the shelf. Her favorite books remained untouched. They started a foundation in her name and held candlelight walks every year on the day she vanished. They believed and still believe that Asha is alive somewhere. A new clue 20 years later. In 2020, the FBI shared a new detail. Asha may have been seen getting into a green car on the night she disappeared. But even that clue led to nothing solid. Still unsolved. The unsolved puzzle. So what really happened to Asha Degree? Did someone convince her to leave? Did she get lost and scared in the woods? Was someone following her all along? We still don't know. And maybe someone out there does. What if you know something? What if someone close to Asha told you a secret? One that could solve everything. Sometimes, even the smallest clue can light up the darkest mystery. Asha Degree was a bright light in this world. Her story reminds us to be careful, to stay close to the people who love us, and to speak up when something doesn't feel right. She would be a grown-up now, maybe with her own kids, but her family is still waiting, still hoping for answers. If you ever hear something, anything, say something, because Asha deserves to come home.